Right, come on,
I'm going to let you down the stairs. This is Charlie Parsons for the
Charlie
Stomping Ground
Parsons,
powered
Oats and
by
Barley
Hydrate.
Parsons.
Hey, that is a man who's just won the 5v5. Frank, just tell me, how happy are you?
Are we going the right way?
You are.
How happy am I? How happy am I? I'm as happy as Larry. I'm happy as Frank.
I just spoke to Eddie.
Yeah.
I can't believe how happy, not happy he is, but like how cool he is about the whole situation. He told me it was a little bit like England versus San Marino, and he got absolutely spanked.
Look, it's been a great concert. It's been great fights, and you know, from our perspective, obviously, I said from the beginning, I fancied all my guys. That's why we picked them, and that's how it turned out. But you know, working and cooperating with each other has really been great for boxing, been great for everybody involved. We've had fabulous fights, some really close fights as well, but fabulous fights, fabulous performances. And at the end of the day, it's something we can do again.
Did it feel like a momentum thing in there from the minute that Willie Hutchinson got that win? It just kept going on.
You know, you all kept asking me what I thought, and I told you what I thought from the beginning.
Frank, Hamzah Sheeraz, when I spoke to him, he told me that he actually really wanted to do this for Queensberry. He picked up those 4 points in there. When I spoke to him afterwards, he said, look, what you guys have done for him in terms of picking him up from the start, bringing him to this moment, not only for him, but a good moment to share for you as well.
Well, the first thing he said in that ring is 4 points. He didn't say, I've just got the eliminator for the world, you know, I'm now the mandatory for the world title, which was quite touching, and I was really proud of him for that. But I was proud of all of them. They all the fighters, every fighter on the card put in a performance, and I mean, Nick Ball was tremendous in a real tough fight. Just, you know, made up for getting robbed in the last time out, and yeah, makes him for me the #1 featherweight in the world. You know, Hamzah done brilliantly. He was in a guy who was trying his balls off, and you know, he got caught. And I think that was, for me, that was something I didn't want to see, but I'm glad I see it because he came through it, and he kept his composure, and it was a magnificent win.
Daniel, go on.
Sorry, same with Daniel. Daniel Dubois done the same thing. You know, after all the crap that's been said in the past, you know, he's shown what he's made of, these balls he's got. Again, he had a couple of little rocky moments earlier on in the fight, but he stuck to his game plan, got behind that jab. He's got a great jab, as I said from the beginning. He was doubling it up, letting that right hand go, and he just busted Philip up.
AJ next for him at Wembley?
Well, that we'll see what happens with the IBF, but look, that seems the natural fight, doesn't it now?
That sells out Wembley.
I'd love to see that, yeah.
Frank, what happens with
a clean sweep tonight? Just how good does that feel?
Well, it's great. I mean, all my guys won. That's what, of course I want. You know, I'd much rather win 5-0 than win 3-2. You know, it was a magnificent night for us.
Obviously sat next to Eddie all night. Was you in his ear after every fight?
No, I mean, we were just talking about. Look, it's very easy to say you're going to gloat, and I said all that beforehand. I'd gloat. I'm really, absolutely pleased for my guys. I'm pleased for us, Queensberry. I'm pleased for boxing, and I'm pleased that we're going to do a rematch.
Frank Smith coming into the office.
Well, I'll be pleased to see that as well. No.
I'll just
Frank, what happens with
Just one thing, guys. I've been following this guy since I've walked on.
Let's do this first.
Frank, THRASHING Sheekh did an interview mid the fights, and he announced some fights in there. The October for the Undisputed. It seems like next year he's even looking at Canelo Crawford. Talk to me about how big this vision is from Riyadh, from THRASHING Sheekh.
Riyadh is the world's capital of boxing. You know that now. It's here. You know, it's changed the whole dynamic of the sport. Not just because of what's happening here. There's some great shows going on in the UK now. I mean, there's some really good shows. We've got a fabulous summer. You know, Queensberry shows. I know Matchroom got some shows. Boxer. Everybody's. You know, boxing's really, really on a high at the moment, and that's emanated in a lot of ways from here. What's going down here, and you know, we have His Excellency and his team to thank for that, because they bashed heads together and made things happen. And as you heard, all those fights we told you are in the pipeline are going to be something extra special.
Frank, what would you like? Frank, what would you like with Zhilei Zhang now? Obviously coming back with that Deontay Wilder knockout, he's your fighter. What do you think is next in an ever-changing heavyweight division?
Well, he's going to be in the picture, isn't he? He's going to, you know, he's obviously going to be in another top fight soon. I'd like to give him a fight in China. Yeah. You know, there's 100 million people watch that in China on TikTok.
just quickly, Frank, I spoke to George, and I think big testament to him for all of this, because all throughout the build-up, even when you and Eddie were still going at each other, he was integral for making fights happen, right?
Absolutely right.
And then for tonight, for it to happen, a real feel-good moment for the family as well, and now everyone's getting along. It feels like boxing's in a real good place, right?
It is in a good place. We're all getting along and we're enjoying it, and we're having fun as well, which is good. And you know, I'm proud of my kids. You know, all of them. You know, whether they're in boxing or not. I've got 6 of them, but it's you know, they've done tremendously well. And George is the CEO of the business, and he's an excellent CEO, and he runs the business really well. And him and Eddie got a good relationship, and they get on well together. And and Frank Smith, and it's making things happen.
Long may it continue.
I want it to continue, don't you? I mean, it's just been brilliant for all of us. It's been fabulous, and you know, and obviously we're finishing on a high, but as you say, people live to fight another day.
Was it England versus San Marino, like Eddie said?
As far as the result, I mean, the fights were competitive. I mean, England v San Marino, to be fair to him, is not really a competitive football match. There were competitive fights in there, but it's nice to come away with a prize, and we come away with a prize, and we kicked ass, so that's great.
Right, top
Frank, it was a clean sweep, but which of your fighters do you think had the most kind of to prove tonight, and had the one which you're really pleased with?
Who had the most to prove? I think Daniel, probably, because some of the things that have been said about him, which were totally outrageous, and he showed what he's all about, and done a fabulous job, and you can't knock him for that. And he showed what he's all about. He's a great finisher, and he started off, you know, he had a couple of little rocky moments earlier on, got caught a few times, and then he sort of got himself together, composed himself, and it was a fabulous performance, as was Hamzah's, who boxed brilliantly. You know, again, him with a good opponent, caught him a couple of times. He answered a couple of questions there, but again, with his composure, came through it and done magnificently well. Nick Ball, I mean, well, he's relentless, isn't he? He's a great fighter, best featherweight in the world, no doubt about it. He beat Vargas, didn't get it last time, and he beat a very good fighter in a very competitive fight, and showed what he's all about. And he's had 2 tough fights, one after another, and that can take a lot out of you. So he'll have a little rest up. Willie, again, he's had a few little things going on in the background, and he's come out and he's done what he's had to do, and done it in absolute style. And obviously Big Bang came back and showed what he is all about, which is a big bang.
Frank, would you be interested in that Ray Vargas rematch for Nick Ball?
Yeah, but I mean, he needs to have a little rest now. He's worked hard. He's had hard training camps and hard fights.
Absolutely.
Frank, the final one, when looking online, a lot of people saying this was a fantastic card, competitive. When can we see a next 5v5 Queensbury match?
We'll be announcing that soon.
Cool.
Frank, cheers.
Yeah.